Expected nothing and was still disappointed. Someone, Osbedian, said that in the watch along, a phrase that I couldn't agree more with. I never thought we had a chance of getting anything today. And I guess that's a reflection of us and it's a reflection of Manchester City. So my expectations were very, very slim. But I still found myself getting fed up. I still found myself getting frustrated. I still found myself getting a bit angry and upset watching that because we were pathetic. Apart from 10 minutes in the second half, we had absolutely nothing about us whatsoever today. It was a training exercise for Man City from start to finish. They played for about 15 minutes, 1-0 up, missed a really good chance, and then they just took it back into first gear and strolled through the rest of the game. If they wanted that to be 4-5, 6-0, they probably could have. We had 3 half chances in the second half in a 10-minute spell, and that was it. There was little to be positive about. Usually you can take some positives from games. There's none today. Even if you took the most positive things, it's still not a big positive thing, if that makes sense. It's still a very slim thing. Coming into today's game, I was thinking I've just written it off. I'm looking forward to, well, I say looking forward as in time-wise rather than excited. I'm looking forward to the Fulham game already. The next 8 games are massive. The January transfer window massive. But I still find myself looking at that thinking, at least do something. At least come up with something to suggest we've got a plan. Because in the first half, there was nothing from us. We had nothing. We got the ball. At one point, it felt like City had the ball for loads, and I had a look at it. We had 40% possession. And we'd get it, and we were quite comfortable moving the ball around the midfield and defence. But the reality was that's all we were doing. We had no plan whatsoever. Nothing whatsoever. And when we got free kicks inside City's half, it's not even like we're pumping it in the box and trying to get something from a set piece. We were just going backwards with the set pieces. We played for a 0-0, and after 5 minutes, we were 1-0 down. And at 1-0 down, we played for a 1-0. At 2-0 down, we played for a 2-0. And at 3-0 down, we were hanging on for a 3-0 defeat. That is to summarising West Ham's game today. We got beat by a fantastic Man City team, but they didn't need to be fantastic today. They just had to be average. And that is average for City. 1 or 2 good performances. But the reality is they strolled through today's game. We didn't lay a glove on them whatsoever. Anyway, welcome to Hammer's Chat. If that introduction hasn't put you off, then please do consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. And also drop a like on the video as well. It's Christmas. I don't know. Is that enough bribery? Is that enough emotional blackmail to get you to drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up? It would be much appreciated, however. And I just want to say a quick thank you to Wolf, who says Merry Christmas, and also to Stephen as well for their support in the live chat. It's much appreciated. Anyway, it took them 4 minutes. It took Man City 4 minutes. You almost have to laugh at that point. And it was easy. It was really easy for them as well. Erling Haaland, Fernandes switches off. Foden's in behind our defence, cuts it back. Haaland has a shot, saved by Areola, gets the rebound, puts it in the back of the net. And I have to say, I think there's 1 or 2 players I think were okay for West Ham today. And I would exclude them from the finger pointing and the raging in the dressing room that they should get. And I think Areola was one of those. I don't think he could have done anything about any of the 3 goals. His kicking was poor, as per usual, but he did what he could. Then it was 2-0 not long after. Fernandes involved again, this time just overplaying it in a dangerous position, giving it away. And then at that point, you can almost look at every defender and think, could you have done a bit better here? Magassa scars up against Turkey. It's a good ball into Haaland, who then puts it past Kilman into Reijnders. No, sorry, puts it past Todibo into Reijnders, who then takes it past Haaland and finishes really well. But in between those 2 goals, Haaland missed a really good chance, a free header, and it's pathetic defending from Max Kilman at that point. He's miles away from Haaland, and when the ball comes in, he doesn't even move towards it. He tries to head it, but 4 yards away from where it actually got headed from. And we had nothing in the first half. Absolutely nothing. We didn't have a shot. We didn't even have a shot. But the frustrating thing for me, we didn't even have a plan. There was no evidence. Like I said, I can accept getting beat by Man City. Losing this game isn't going to define our season. Losing away to Man City, whoop-de-doo, right? The games that define our season are coming up. They're there, and they're also in the past. Brentford, Leeds, Bournemouth, those games will define our season, not today. But I just want to see something. I want to see something that makes me think we know what we're doing here. But there was nothing. There was no try and get the ball over the top for Somerville. Like I said, set pieces. We weren't trying to get the bodies in the box and get the high ball in there and try and get something. Leeds United scored 2 there. Fulham scored 4 against them not that long ago. So this is a City team that concede goals or can concede goals. And we didn't even have a plan to try and score a goal. It's very disappointing. And don't get me wrong, some of the players played poorly today. But Bowen, Paqueta, Fernandes, Somerville, you must be able to get more out of them in terms of creativity and trying to score. But I say the Shackles was on. We didn't even have Shackles. There's just nothing about us. Anyway, it came out the second half. And do you know what? The next 10 minutes, the 10, 15 minutes of the second half at the start of it, we played a bit better. I think a large part of it was down to City just being in first gear. But we started to get a few half chances. Bowen went close on a couple of occasions. And a lot of it was, the first one was from pressing from Potts and then Somerville. Potts had a shot saved by Donnarumma. Fernandes put it over the bar. Then Bowen had half a chance and he had a decent chance. A great ball by Lucas Paqueta on his right foot. He couldn't really get on his left foot. There was a lot of City players coming back. So he had to take it on his right foot and dragged it wide. And then Somerville had a shot saved by Donnarumma. So there was some half chances for us. But there was nothing, almost none of it was created through sort of tactical or build-up or anything. It was almost like win the ball back and have a shot. But for 10 minutes, we played all right, and it felt like there was maybe a goal in us. But after City, it sort of woke City up a little bit. And at that point, I felt like we should have done a sub. I think we should have had Wilson on the pitch. It didn't come. And then from the 60th minute onwards, City were they just took the piss, just played it around. We didn't get near them. Eventually, they made it 3-0, Erling Haaland. It's just every defender played its part. Ezra Myers came on for Ollie Skiles, who I thought had a decent second half. I thought he was turned inside out and spat back out by Cherky in the first half. I think Skiles, I felt sorry for him. He had a tough game today. But in the second half, I think he started to do all right. And I think he was trying to get forward. Went off. Myers come on. Did a good interception, but then went up the pitch to help Bowen. So when City got it back, the ball there to Savinho was on. Today, it's poor defending by Todibo. Then Kilman gets nutmegged. And then Walker-Peters kicks it off to Todibo. It hits Todibo. Then it hits Walker-Peters and falls to Haaland. It's the most it's just really clumsy defending. But in all honesty, the second half, we might as well have just blown for full time after an hour. The game was done. I mean, it wasn't even going on for an hour, but the game was done after 4 minutes. That's the truth. The truth is, today's game was finished up after 4 minutes. As soon as they made it 1-0, it was done. It was over. And it was just a training exercise for Man City, and it was pathetic from us. And in the end, we were treating it like a training exercise with, 15, 20 minutes to go. Nuno makes his 4 subs, and he's taken off his important players. And I get it, because he also had one eye. I had one eye on Fulham a week ago. Nuno had one eye on Fulham with 15, 20 minutes of the game against Man City to play. Fernandes, Paqueta, Potts, and someone else, I can't even remember now, Somerville, all off, and then he just threw on Souček. It was a white flag from Nuno. It was basically subs to say this game is done. I've given up. I'm focusing on Fulham next week. But there was nothing today. In the first half, I thought for 5 minutes, there was maybe a little bit of something. Potts went in on a couple of players, which was good to see. There was a little fight from us today. We rolled over, had our tummies tickled, our pants pulled down, boys v men, whatever phrase you want to use it. It was just, there's just nothing. There's just nothing. I'm not that wound up because I expected to get beat. But when we get beat, I want to see something, right? I just want to see effort. I want to see attitude. I want to try and make it difficult for them. I want to see a game plan. But there was none of any of it. None of it. 2 wins in 12 now for Nuno. What's that? Winless in 6, 7 for West Ham. We're entering a really, really crucial stage in our season. Today, it's not going to help that. It was a bad fixture for us. We played poorly. Easy for Man City. I'm just going to wrap it up there. Honestly, I've not really got much else to say. I've seen a lot of this. I'm just going to click on Nathan's comment because I've seen a lot of this. which is if we lose to Fulham, I'm Nuno out. And I'm not calling out Nathan because I completely understand why he's saying that. I completely understand why he's saying it. And he's not the only one. James Gunn said it in the watch along as well. And I think that I've seen last week I felt like a lot of the Hammerchat subscribers, I felt like there was that whole, I wasn't sure about relegation. I think we're going to go down now after the last week's result. And today I feel like there's I'm giving up on Nuno element about it. I think that's the mood I'm picking up today. And I completely understand it. I'm a fan of Nuno, but I cannot defend that in the slightest. And I won't even try and defend it in the slightest. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing to witness. Like I said, it's before someone says, oh, getting beat by City, blah, blah, blah. It's not the fact we've got beat by City. I don't care. I'm not arsed about losing to Man City. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's just what we've seen from the players, what we didn't see from Nuno. And also it's the accumulation of games and performances and results, isn't it? I was more annoyed at what we did against Bournemouth, and we didn't even lose that game. I was more annoyed about that game than I am today. I was more annoyed against Brentford and Leeds than I am today. But it's just a build-up. It's the same things being repeated over and over. It's concerning. It's hard not to be. I don't know. I just got to pray now that Palace do us a favour against Leeds United. It might not make a difference, but if Leeds win, that's a serious gap at the bottom of the table. That's a serious 6 points. That'll put us 6 points between us and Leeds. That's not good. Anyway, Andrew, who's a Man City fan, said, I think you gave us quite a few scares. Don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, we did, but we were 2-0 down. And I just don't think you got out. I don't think City got out of first gear today. And that's the most disappointing thing. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Short, not very sweet. Thank you very much for joining me. Before you disappear, if you don't mind dropping a like on the video, that'd be much appreciated. I'll be live tomorrow at some point with a debrief show to see what you guys are saying in the live chat. I don't know what time yet, but I will put up an update as a community post. It'll be early afternoon or late or in the morning at some point. I'm not sure. Because there's no 2 p.m. game on Sunday. It's completely throwing my weekend. So I might do it 10, 11, 1. I don't know. But keep your eyes out. And if you can join me, I'd appreciate it a lot. Sorry, everyone. I know it's Christmas and I know it's Saturday. You might be thinking, bloody hell, he's not very positive. I'm not. I feel pretty sad about what I've just witnessed, actually. I'll catch you in a bit.